Now, I haven't been buying any inventory because I've got so much unlisted inventory in this warehouse, it's not funny. The last time that I did go out sourcing was at the local book fair that was held a few weeks ago on the weekend of the 7th of February. Now, today is the 5th of March and it's Wednesday, and I just got all of these items over the last weekend. So I want to show you, I got a Facebook Marketplace pickup that was absolutely possibly going to be my score of the year. I'm very, very excited to show you this. And these 3 lots here have come from 3 charity stores, just local ones to me. These 2, all the ones in this bag and all the ones in this box, these have come from the one store, and in this bag, it was a mixture of 2 thrift shops that I did. So I have bought quite a bit, I guess, but I'm very happy with what I've got. I've got heaps of items in here that is going to be selling for some good profit. I'm going to make a lot of money on this. So I'm going to show you exactly what I bought at the thrift shop that I'm going to then resell on eBay for profit. Now, this bag of books and all the books in the red box, they've come from the first charity shop, and this particular charity shop, they have a set price for their books, but generally what they do with me is when I come in, and I always get like a whole lot of books, they just do me like a bulk buy price. And this day they charged me $40 for the whole lot, which is pretty much standard. I can kind of look at how many books that I've got and I know roughly how much they're going to charge me. There is 73 books amongst the lot. I think that was right. So they've come just over 50 cents each. And when I'm buying books for 50 cents each, that is when I will buy some of those lower end, more bread and butter. They don't bring as much profit, but they're still going to sell and they're still going to move through in my store. So I'm just going to bring the books up here close so you can see exactly what I've bought, and I'll tell you how much I think I'm going to be able to sell this book for. So this is the Walls Protocol. So a radical new way to treat all chronic autoimmune conditions using the paleo principles. I'm pretty confident I'll be able to sell this book for around the $30 mark. This is only going to be one of those low-end books. This is by Joyce Meyer, very popular biblical Bible teacher, especially in America. This one is Managing Your Emotions. I do like to keep some of her books in my store. That I do find that she sells quite well. It's only going to sell for around about the $20 mark. There's another one in here somewhere by Joyce Meyer as well. So only like a cheap one, but yeah, I do like to have some Joyce Meyer in my store. Now I've got 2 books here, same book, different covers, The 4-Hour Workweek. This is one of the most popular self-help books that's ever been written, and it's just one of those books that's continually sells. People want it. Now, probably quite a saturated market, but a highly sought after self-help book. I don't feel like I'm going to have any problem selling these for like a low end amount. These will go into the store for $20 each, and they'll either sell for full price or on an offer, but quite confident with those 2 books. This one here, QF32, this is a true story of a Qantas pilot, I think, or Spirit of Australia. And basically, he was a pilot. It's his true story. I've sold this book so many times. So again, I'm confident that this one will move through, probably get around $20, $22 for that book. Now I found this vintage Roald Dahl BFG, and this book here should sell for around the $25 mark. I know I've got another vintage Roald Dahl book that's the same, but a different one. I think it's The Witches, and it's here somewhere in the waiting to list pile. I might even bundle the 2 of them together if I see them, but yeah, this was one of my favorite books ever while I was growing up. The BFG, The Big Friendly Diet. Now, I actually bought this one for myself, but I already have it in my collection, so it's going to go into the store. But this is by Brendan Burchard, and it's High Performance Habits. Now, I follow this guy, Brendan, on YouTube, and I watch quite a bit of his videos and stuff. I quite like him, motivational, self-help, and I love books that talk about habits. But yeah, I didn't think I had this one, but I do already have it in my personal collection, so it is going to go into the store. Probably, again, that book will probably get me around that $20 mark. Oh, here's the other little Joyce Meyer one. So yeah, The Secret Power of Speaking God's Word. I might even lot the 2 of them together, but I'll probably put those in separately and they'll both just go in for low end. And fingers crossed they sell. Okay, we've got Stephen King here, The Song of Susanna. Now, for this particular Stephen King hardcover book, it'll probably fetch me around the $25 mark, my $22 to $25 mark. I've never seen these two books, but I picked them up because there's two of them, same author, same series. Time Management from the Inside Out, Organizing from the Inside Out. These two self-help books, I'm going to try and get around the $35 mark, I think, for the two of those together. I'm going to lot them up and they will be sold together. Okay, now I've got two cheap little Bibles here, the Book of Mormon. And last time I put the Book of Mormon into my store, it sold almost instantly. Now, it only sold for around the $20 mark, but it like literally sold almost as soon as I listed it. So I don't normally see the Book of Mormon. So anyway, I picked up those two, going off my past experience with how quickly it sold. Fingers crossed so I get the same experience. But that's why I picked up those ones. Now this one, the Classic Australian Cookbook. I've sold this book multiple times, and I think this book should probably get me somewhere around the $35, maybe up to $40 for this cookbook, just depending, but I'm going to say conservatively like around the $35 mark for that cookbook. Now we've got this one, the Cognitive Behavioural Workbook for Anxiety. I quite like workbooks like this where you go through them and therefore a little bit of psychology and self-help and stuff. I didn't look this book up. I've gone by just like a gut feeling, but I do think that I'll be able to get somewhere between $25 and $30 for that book. Okay, now these two are again another two low ends. I'm showing you all the low ends. Wait till you see that Facebook haul, guys. You're going to be blown away. This one is called Angel Eyes, The Shadow of Death. This is a gripping tale of international terror extending across Spain, Australia, Turkey and Afghanistan. That one will go into the store for around the $20 mark. And this one is quite a popular biography book, The Crossroad. That one again, that will also get me, it should get me around that $20 mark. So nothing huge, but it's there. Now, this is an aviation theory book, meteorology and navigation. I just got a whole lot of these in one of the cages that is similar to this one, but I've sold these ones before, and I know these ones will generally go for around the $30 mark, these aviation books. So picked up that one. How to reach and teach children and teens with ADD, ADHD. I'm suspecting that this textbook will fetch me somewhere between the $30 and $40 mark. So I don't think that one will be too hard to sell. Now, these four I've picked up to sell as a lot. They are by the author Jean Granger, and they're all in large print. So there's the Emerald Horizon, the Star and the Shamrock, the Hordway Home, the Sword, the World Starts Anew. Now, I think these might be historical fictions, but the four of these books together, I'm expecting that I should be able to get about $50. That's what they'll be listed for anyway, around that $50 mark. One, the thing they've got going for them, historical romance, very popular genre. Two, large print. Bonus, right? People who love the historical romance, they also love the large print. So yeah, I'm pretty confident those books will sell nice and easily. I actually think these are imports, US imports. They're not readily available in Australia, which hopefully will make them a little bit more sought after as well and special. Okay, this is a fairly basic cookbook, Donna Hay, The New Classics. This cookbook, it is a large, heavy cookbook. I should be able to sell this for around $25 but. And I do have a lot of cookbooks in my store. I have a lot of repeat buyers that come back and buy my cookbooks. I've built myself a good base of customers who like cookbooks, so I'm fairly confident with that cookbook. This one here, the Bee Friendly Garden, I am expecting that I should be able to easily flip this book for $30 to $40. I don't think that will be a difficult sell. Easy ways to help the bees and make your garden grow. So books about bees, beehiving, some of them can be very, very profitable. So a great book to look out for. Now this will only be a basic one, Keto Cookbook for Beginners, 1,000 recipes. This is a book specifically for beginners, which makes it a little bit more enticing. This book I think will be able to get me around that $25, $22, $25 mark. So just fairly basic. Now this one I didn't really find any information on. It was called Home Play, Fine Motor Skills and Handwriting. It's basically a teacher's book. This will possibly go quite well also for the homeschooling community. I may even put this together in a bulk lot. I do have like some other teaching books that are sitting around here in the unlisted inventory, and sometimes I do make bundles up of the teacher's books. So I don't know. If I list this book, I think I would list this for somewhere around the $25 mark. Australia's Remarkable Trees. I've sold this one multiple times before. I should easily get $40 for this cookbook. It's not a cookbook, but this is the new edition as well. This book does come in, a couple of editions, but this is the new one. So I do think that I should be able to fetch around that $40 for that particular book. Right. This one, we've got Stanley Gibbons' Simplified Stamp Catalogue 1959. Some of these old stamp catalogues, any kind of stamp books actually, I do find that generally they are quite a popular topic. Some of the stamp books will only sell low end for me $20. I do find when I put them into my store, they move quite quickly. This is only, it's quite acceptable. It's only it's not in that great a condition. But I do think that probably this book I'm going to be able to fetch $30 to $40 for this particular stamp catalogue. Now, I couldn't find any solds on this particular book. However, this is the 3rd edition and the 5th edition was selling for around $60. So if the 5th edition is selling for $60, I'll probably price this one around the $30 marks. I really felt like paying 50 cents for this. It was a little bit of a punt because there wasn't many solds, but I'm pretty confident. Books on aromatherapy do quite nicely for me. You just got to use the right keywords like alternative medicine, alternative therapies, things like that for aromatherapy. They can be good keywords to use. Now, this was another one that was sitting right next to each other, the 2 aromatherapy books. This one, when I comped it in the store, and yes, I was comping some of these books in the store. If I'm not familiar with the books, I will still comp them. Even if I know I'm only going to pay 50 cents for a book, I'm still looking at those comps to see whether or not I feel like I'm going to be able to sell those books within like 6-month period going by the data that I've got. So this one is the Complete Guide to Aromatherapy. I should be able to get about $40 for this book. So this one I felt more confident in, but this one being next to it, I was like, I think I'm going to be able to move both of those books. Now, when I'm looking at the comps, I'm looking at how many are listed and how many have sold. What are they listed for and what is the selling price? But in my head, there's a couple of other things that I also take into consideration. I take into consideration my gut instinct because after selling books full-time for many years, I'm really quietly confident with some things. When I have a gut feeling about if it's a yes or a no, I will listen to that. I'm also very aware of what my current base of repeat customers is, and I'm confident with the books that are in my store. I know what I've got in my store. I know what genres I've got a lot of. So I'm also very comfortable knowing, okay, this is a topic that's popular in my store, so it'll possibly go well in my store. And this is a topic that is popular with some of my repeat buyers. So if I put this in, then possibly they'll come back and buy that as well. So I think I am taking them primarily like the sell-through rate of the actual eBay into consideration, but I do consider my own client base, my own customer base, because I feel like the longer I do this and the more repeat customers that I gain, that I'm very aware and self-aware of what my customers in my store are actually looking at. And even if the book might not sell well, like let's say for instance, Tom, he sells books, right? Some of these books, maybe it wouldn't sell very well in Tom's store because he doesn't have a lot of that kind of topic or a repeat customer base that comes back for those type of items. But I do, so it makes my store a little bit different. Now this one here, 2 books here, I'm going to lot these together. We've got Sarah Knight, You Do You, and Get Your Shit Together. So 2 self-help books. I've sold both of these books multiple times before in my book selling career, but normally I would list these up. They'd only be the lower end, around the $20. It's 2 books there. I'll probably make it like $30, $35 for the 2 of them. Now this one, New Italian Espresso. It is a textbook, but it's a barista textbook. So it's like how to make coffee. I should be easily able to get about $40 for this textbook looking at the solds. So now this one, I couldn't really find anything much on this book, but I do have a lot of cookbooks and a lot of cookbook lovers in my store who come. So I thought this was a nice book, and I'm gonna take a gamble for 50 cents. Cooking in the Moment. This cookbook, there was one listed for around $50, but there wasn't really any sold. So I don't know. This is the problem. There's one listed for $50, but no solds. It's probably not going to sell for $50, is it? So it's not going to go into my store at $50. Probably going into my store at $25, $30, and I'll just move it along. I've sold this one before, Jam, Drops and Marble Cake. This is a Country Women's Association cookbook. So Country Women's Association, they win a lot of awards for their cakes at the local shows. This book should get me around about the $25 mark from past history. And another one, Country Women's Association, probably came from the same person who donated them. Again, this book should bring me about $25, and I've sold that one. I only sent one the other day. I think it was in one of my videos. So, yeah. Okay, now I've got a box set here, Philip Pullman, his Dark Materials. And I reckon I can sell this one for around $45, $50. So that's what it's going to go into the store as. Now, this one's probably only going to sell for about $20. It's called Conversations with God. This book comes in a few volumes, but I think it's got 3 volumes. And this is book 1. And I have a feeling that in the cage over there, I saw a couple of other Conversations with God. So I'm going to set this one aside. It probably would sell for $20-ish, roughly, but I'm going to set it aside and see if I've got any of the others in with the religion books that are in the cage. And then hopefully I can lot it together. And if I was to get the 3 volumes of that, probably sell for $35, $40. Now, this is only a little small book, The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning. Now, this is in like almost like brand new condition. This should easily get me $25. Now, this one's called The Only Constant. This book should get me about $30. Right, now, this book is called The Electronic Designer's Handbook by Landy. I think I should be able to get $30 for this book. This is a kid's book called Eragon's Guide to Alopecia by Christopher Poloni. Now, surprisingly, you might just look at this book and think that just looks like a kid's picture book and wouldn't be worth very much money. This book should actually get me somewhere between the $35 and $40 mark. Now, the Complete Gut Health Cookbook by Pete Evans. Now, generally, Pete Evans is a fairly slow seller for me. Saturated author. There's a lot of books listed by him and there's a lot of books sold. This particular one probably will only sell around that $20 to $25 mark. When I had a look at this, there was 26 of them listed at the time and there was 13 sold. So that means it's got a 50% sell-through rate. And if there's 50% sell-through rate, will generally mean that means half the books will sell through in that 90-day period. So I can almost be guaranteed that this book, The Complete Gut Health Cookbook, will sell through within 6 months and I should make somewhere between $20 and $25. Now, I only just sold this one myself the other week, which is why I picked it up. Beautiful boards. It's on grazing boards, snack boards. I think I sold this book for $26. So I was going to say I should be able to get anywhere between the $22 and the $25 mark for that one. We've got an old Reader's Digest do-it-yourself manual. This is what it looks like. I find this book fairly often. This book should get me around $30 going off past history. So that's pretty good as well. Now, in here as well, I've got this big stack of books. Now, these are children's books, and they are Help Me Be Good, and these are by Joy Berry. Now, I just sold a stack of these. There's about 30 of them here in this stack. I just sold a stack of them. I think there was 20 for $75. So if there's about 30 here, I might do 2 bundles of 15 and go for like $50 each a bundle. Maybe I'll do the one stack for 20 and do another one like around that $75 mark and then do a lower end one. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that one yet. I'll have to sit down and decide how I'm going to do that. I think I'll split that into 2 anyway. So that is it, guys. So all of those books I paid $40 for. So you can see when I'm saying I paid $40 in total. There's a lot of books there, $20, $30. Like they're not like $50, $60, $70 books. They're only like fairly, except for this stack, they're not huge profits. But all those profits, if I sell all of those books through within 6 months, I'm going to make good profit just from those books. So yeah, $40 for the whole stock. I'm going to make hundreds of dollars from those. Right, now the next bag has come from a mixture of the 2 charity stores, 2 different ones. And these books have come to a total of $68. So I've paid $68 for the bag full. That's a combined total of the 2. So I'll show you what I've got here. Now, these are the Dreamtime. These are Aboriginal little books, and they only really sell for about $20 each, but they sell fairly easily and fairly quickly, and I've sold many of them over the time. Now, because I know they sell individually around that $20, I do know they sell, but I'll never pay more than $1 each for these books. These ones happen to be $3 for the 3 wrapped up like this, $2. So they were $1 a book. So I was happy to pay that. These 3, because they are all different ones, I'll possibly sell these 3 together. And these 2 I might put in there as individuals. I don't know if I'll do the 2 of them together, but I'll probably definitely do the 3. Unfortunately, the 5 aren't all different. These 2 are the same as what's in this bundle of 3. So yeah, anyway, that should be fairly easy sale. Now, I've got this Holy Bible. It is wrapped in plastic, so it's brand new. It's the Catholic Gift Bible. Now, I think I should be able to get $40 maybe for this Bible, roughly $40, but new and sealed. Yeah, it's a gift Bible. I think I should be able to, definitely get around that $40. Now, this book here, The Beauty Chef Gut Guide, this book sells for around the $40 mark, easy book. So, yeah, nice, really nice condition, almost looks brand new. Pretty confident I'll be able to sell that one for $40. Right, now these books, I don't know how much I'm going to sell these for. I think these will actually be worth quite good money. I just couldn't find any information when I was looking, because I looked when Tom and I were driving in the car. So I was quite excited by these. So I don't know if you can see, these were $4, and I won't pull them all out, but these are called the Puffinalia, the magazine of the Australian Puffin Club. So these are from 1983, so they are vintage. They're in immaculate condition. They're all perfect here, like they've been kept in this. Whoever's donated them, it almost feels like they've just donated them in this bag, which has kept them all in really good condition. But 80s magazines, Puffin is like, they do the Puffin books, and the Puffin Book Club was big when I was at school. Used to order from the Puffin Book Club every single month or whenever it came around. I don't know what they're going to be worth. I actually think they're going to be worth a substantial amount of money, but I don't know. It's going to take me a little bit longer to price comp and find those, because I just couldn't see much history on them. Now, this book was a little bit of a mixed results, Pride and Pudding. When I looked up this book for sale, it was kind of going like, there was $40 to $80 really. There was one that was maybe sold for a higher amount, but then there was some that were listed for a lower amount. I do think that I'll be able to get around the $40 mark, and I'll probably put it in on that lower end. Pride and Pudding by Regula somebody or other. Blessed to be that invented the pudding. So yeah, I do. That is a very nice book. Now, this was another one that had a kind of some mixed results when I was comping. Children's Ministry Resource Bible. This one kind of looked like there was mixed results between like $40 and $70. I'll probably be on that lower end around the $40 or $50 if there's such a price variance like that. But anyway, when I'm doing actually listing this book, I'll do a little bit further research on that one. But hopefully $40, $50, that'd be nice. Now, I got another one of these, which I just sent out one this morning and I sent out one the other day. So, The Secret Language of Birthdays, that one should sell, well, the ones this morning sold for $44. So that one should easily get me $44. This is a beautiful book, A Room of Her Own, Inside the Homes and Lives of Creative Women. This book should easily get me somewhere around the $40 to $50 mark. Very nice book, looks brand new. Now, I just sold one of these the other day, pretty much listed and sold within like the same day, I think it was. So this one is called The Preserving Book. I should be able to get $25 for this as a nice, quick, easy sale. Now, these books here, I couldn't really see another lot of them that were listed. Growing Up in Marvellous Melbourne, Growing Up in the First Fleet, Australia Will Be There, Growing Up in the First World War. Anyway, it's a whole series of these little books. They seem to be selling for around $15 to $20 each. So I'm going to try and lot mine up and maybe I'll aim for around the $50 mark for the whole bundle. Value bundle, get them moving quickly. Now, this box set here is called The Light Keepers, 10 Girls, complete box set by Irene Howard. This is 10 girls who changed the world, 10 girls who didn't give in, 10 girls who made history, 10 girls who used their talents, and 10 girls who made a difference. I actually thought this was a religious box set. I'm not sure. I'll have to look a little bit more up. This one I paid $5 for. I'm going to be able to sell this one for $40. Right, now this one is called Environmental Engineering and Science. Now this one I paid $2 for. It was on a blue sticker, which meant it was half price. I could only find, when I scanned the barcode of this, I could only find two sales. One of them was $66, one of them was about $86. So a little bit of a price variance there. This one's not in the best of condition. I'll probably go for around that $50, $60 mark for this particular book. Now, this one is the Concise Australian Legal Dictionary. Paid $2.50 for this one. Should be able to get $40 for this one. So, got a few textbooks in this book haul. So, this textbook, Database Systems, Design, Implementation and Management. This book was comping for around $50 to $80. So, fingers crossed, $50 is a great price for a book. Paid $2.50 for this one. And yeah, very excited. Quite a few textbooks in this one. I was pretty excited about that. Another textbook, this one is Essential Mathematics for Year 10. And this book generally will sell for around $40 to $50 for this particular edition. So some of the other, that's the third edition. Some of the other editions, 1 and 2, they might only bring you $20, $22. But that one there, the third edition, that one will bring you definitely between $40 and $50. Now this one, Evidence-Based Practice Across the Health Professionals. This book should be able to get me about $45. So paid $4 for that one. Now this is a pretty good bird book, The Atlas of Australian Birds. This book should easily get me $40, $45. I've sold this one multiple times. It's a good seller, easy seller. And now I've got this big cookbook here again, Thomas Keller Bouchon Bakery. Now I do find books that are about the recipes of specific bakeries can do quite nicely for me. I've sold not this particular bakery, but I've sold other bakery books before. This is a very nice, it's large, hardcover, it's a big book. I'm expecting to list this one for around the $50 mark. And that is it. That is it. So all of those books paid out $68. You can see there was a few higher ones in there. Those ones were kind of comping more around that $40, $50, $60 mark in that lot. So a little bit more higher end books, but I had to pay up a little bit more, $68 for the lot. I don't know what that averages out to be, probably around $3 something a book. But paying $3 for a book that's going to sell for $40 or $50, happy days. All right, I'm super excited about my Facebook Marketplace haul. Let me tell you how this came about. Friday afternoon, I just literally got home in the afternoon. Must have been 5 o'clock or 5:30 or something. I just got home from the day. I sat down on the couch, grabbed a drink and sat there and went, let's look at Facebook. Hadn't looked all day. Scrolling the Facebook Marketplace, I saw this ad come up, right? I looked at the ad and it said it had been up for 12 minutes. It was listed for $30. Now, let me show you what this is. I love this. We've got some Folio Society books here. Now, if you don't know what Folio Society is, Very collectible books. They come in these lovely slip cases. They've got a little fancy looking F down here, FS for Folio Society. That's how you can generally pick them if they are a folio book. And this particular haul, 2, 4, 7 of them. 7 Folio Society books, all by Patrick O'Brien. Now, Patrick O'Brien writes kind of, how would you do them? Naval, maybe war, naval history, anyway. Popular author, his books sell for a lot of money. Even the paperback books, Patrick O'Brien, he sells for a lot of money. He's a great seller, and I love to pick him up. These folios, 7 of them, $30, right? I saw them come up on Facebook, and I just sent her a DM straight away, like, hello, yes, I'd love to be able to buy these books, please. Right? Then I looked at her ad and I was like, oh my goodness, like normally I just DM them when I see them on Facebook Marketplace. But this particular one, I came onto the ad because nobody else had made any comments or anything, and I wrote sold, DM you, right? So I was like, I don't know. $30, I couldn't believe it. Anyway, I sat there patiently waiting, like staring at the screen, waiting. And then I saw that the little thing popped up. So she'd seen that I said in the messenger that I wanted to buy it. And then she took ages, and I sat there thinking, oh no, she's had somebody else message before me. So I was almost sweating because I was like, oh my goodness, $30 for 7 of these, what? So anyway, I'm like literally staring at the Facebook thing, just like waiting for her to reply. So then when she finally replied, which honestly, I think she probably took around the 10-minute mark, but it felt like it was about 30 minutes. Felt like I was waiting forever, but it was still about 10 minutes from when she saw that I'd replied and said, yes, I wanted them. Anyway, she came back. I was half expecting it to say, sorry, I've already sold it. Somebody else has already got them first. But she didn't. She came back and she said, amazing. That'd be great. Let me know when you'd like to get them. I said, I'll come now. So this lady lived about 45 minutes from my house, and I was like, I'll come now. And she said, oh, you can come tomorrow if you'd like. I was like, no way. Oh, it's all right. I'll come. Oh, it's all right. I'm in the car. I'll come now. And when you have a Facebook Marketplace haul where you see something that it's cheap, it's going to be highly sought after, you do not want to leave that with the seller. You want to be able to go and pick that up ASAP, because in the meantime, you don't know, somebody else could come along and say, I'll give you more money for that, or you don't know, right? Somebody else could come along and snipe it from under you. Maybe even one of their friends could turn around and say, hey, I'd actually really love that. Can you sell it to me? Of course she's going to go sell it to her friend or something, and then she'll just block me and I'll never hear from her again. So, no, if I see something that I think I need to get that right then and there, I will drive straight away for it. So I jumped in my car, drove the 45 minutes, $30. I picked it up, couldn't believe it. She was just an elderly lady. The neighbor had gone into a nursing home, and he'd asked her if he could just sell some of his books on Facebook Marketplace, and she just literally threw them up. So anyway, I just feel like I scored an absolute, lifetime deal here. Now, these particular books, I'm going to show you the solds on eBay here because they're a little bit everywhere. Some of these books sell maybe for $80 each, but some of them are selling for a couple of $100 each. Now, I'm not sure which ones are selling for more. I'm going to have to obviously do my research on these. These are the type of books that I'll spend a little bit of extra time researching because there could be a lot of money in these books. There's currently a lot of 7 that have sold. They sold in America or overseas, but they sold for roughly $700 Australian for the 7 of them. So I'm not sure if it's the same 7 as that I've got because I think there is about 20 in this collection. But I am thinking that these 7 books are roughly going to sell for me for at least $500, possibly more. So to get a Facebook Marketplace for $30 that I can flip for $500, guys, this might be the lifetime deal. This might not lifetime, this might be my yearly Facebook deal where I make the most money from. You just never know if another one's going to come along that you make a lot of money from. But this is a very nice quick 7 books. It's going to be super easy to photograph and list. Not sure if I'm going to list them individually or as a whole lot. I think I would probably prefer to sell these as a whole lot, and then it's just a matter of coming up with the price that I would like, that I think that I can get for these, 500-ish, 700-ish, I don't know. I've got to have a look. Yeah, that is my little tip for Facebook Marketplace. If you see a deal come up and it's really, really good, go get it straight away. By the time I got out to this lady's house, which I was in my car instantly, so 45 minutes later, I was on her doorstep. But by the time I got to her, she did say that she'd already had other people messaging her about these books, and she couldn't believe how fast that I'd jumped onto these books. But it just happened, I was just there on Facebook at the right time. She just happened to have put these up in that 12-minute period. And I'm actually really surprised that nobody else had jumped on them in 12 minutes. Facebook Marketplace for the win, guys. Facebook Marketplace for the win. So, as you can see, $40 for the first haul, $30 for the Facebook haul, $68 for the other 2 charity shops, $70, $138 for all of these books, and I'm going to be able to turn that $138 into hundreds and hundreds of dollars by selling these books on eBay. So literally I feel like I've struck the lotto. I've got a dream job. And you know, well, fantastic, and that's how you do it. And this is the sort of stuff that I love doing. I love cherry picking the books that I know are going to sell fast. They're high quality. They're books, really beautiful books that I'm going to be able to sell quickly. This is my favorite thing to do. This is what I love doing. I don't really love sorting through all those low-end cages and stuff. Like, that's a grind. This is exciting. This is exciting to go out. There's the thrill of the hunt. I get to go out and buy all these things. And now I'm actually excited to photograph and list these items because I know how much money they're worth. And I know, like, every time I list that book, boom, $40, $50, $50. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've picked up and maybe learned something about some of these books or some topics, or seen some of these books that maybe next time when you go to the thrift store, you will recognize maybe a couple of these books. Do make sure you keep looking them up. Books do change. Do you know what I mean? I might say, oh, this book is worth $50, and then in 3 months' time, every Tom, Dick, and Harry might be selling that book for $50, and you might not get $50 anymore. So do make sure that you keep looking books up. If they're not familiar to you, do keep looking at the eBay solds. They do change often. Sometimes you can have books that are worth a certain amount, and then 6 months later, they're not worth that anymore. So you do have to keep revising. Do your homework, do your research. This is how you learn what sells on eBay, and this is how you learn what sells fast on eBay. We want to sell books for profit. We want to buy good quality books. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of them out there. Go out, find yourself some good books, and make some money. Thanks, guys, for watching. Bye.